Hey guys, today I am a little sick, but that is fine because I had a lot of maybe fever dreams. I don't know. I had at least like a few lucid dreams. Oh, my medicine, my ADHD meds haven't kicked in, so I'm not fully awake. And also, I just kind of woke up, so I'm still a little awake. Uh, no, I'm feeling. No, my bowels. I ate so much chili yesterday, and now, oh, it started right now, just brooding in pain or whatever. God damn. Oh, this is gonna be an uncomfortable episode because I'm not gonna go take a shit and then get back here. If I go take a shit, I'm gonna fucking shower and then I'm gonna go and have an idea of what I want to make in Blender, and then I'm gonna go and do that instead of this. Ugh. Yeah, but yeah, I had a few lucid dreams. Okay, yeah, a few lucid dreams where I was like looking around because I was trying to figure out um like how a dream felt, so I could determine like, oh, now I'm in a dream in later times. And I was trying to look at like the details, right? I was trying to look at the things in the dream. God, my throat hurts so much. Um it's drying up. I drank so much water now and it should be fine. Oh, it's incredibly itchy. Um yes, I was looking for like visual cues for being in a dream, and I couldn't find any because oh my god, the details. Oh, the pain is only when I talk. Oh Jesus, the Jesus. Oh, no. Okay, I'm just gonna talk telepathically, I guess. Ugh. Or if I whisper like the crisper. Whoa. Okay, so if I talk like this instead, it's not gonna hurt as much. What? But then oh no. Okay, this is, I guess, endurance challenge. Do I? Oh, okay. I'm gonna sneeze because it itches so much in my entire everything. Oh, well, this is. You can't get worse. You can't get worse production value than this. Oh my god. So anything that I do in the future will be better than this, I hope. Unless if I'm just like not talking, just looking at the camera for an hour. Oh yeah, it's only been 4 minutes and I'm deeply in like discomfort. Well, oh, I'm so rarely sick that I don't really have any meds for treating it. Like I don't have any uh, throat things. I found some expired nose spray, which helped a little bit, but it was expired by a few years, so I kind of it didn't really help very much. Um, but it's good because, or it's all fine because I don't know. I feel like a little bit of like discomfort is pretty nice sometimes because I sit in complete, like, I sit undisturbed, like, oh, I fold something in my mouth. What? Some tones that I make just like wraps something in my throat. Like the little foldy thingy that's supposed to collapse like the the breathing pipe when you eat. It's, or when you swallow, I guess. It feels like that is like curling up in itself or on itself. Like, oh, yeah, it's so wacky. But anyway, back to the dreams and stuff. Did I spend 2 minutes? Oh my god, I spent 2 minutes doing nothing. Like last time I looked at the clock, and now it feels like I blinked, kind of. So I guess that is kind of wacky. I don't know. What am I? Yeah, the the dreams were kind of like, or how I entered the dreams was like I laid on my back, and then when I was on my back, I closed my eyes, and I started hearing like, and then I kind of like warped and like it was the loudest fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Like it wasn't in my ears; it was like all around me, right? It was not like somebody had put headphones on me. It was like the entire room was like, and then I would open my eyes and I was in a dream, and I was like, I didn't realize I was in a dream all the time. I just opened my eyes, and that's where I were. Right? It was like I blinked. Nothing had happened. Right? I wasn't in a dream. I had like I we were on a road trip. First in like Saudi Arabia because of like all the sand that was around. I've never been there, so I don't know how it would be. But yeah, we were driving around in a white Tesla. I think that was like really weird because like it was, I don't know, like David Dobrik type. I think he had the white Tesla. I don't know, but we were driving around and we had come to like a cliff, and we had went out, or we I went out of the car because there was like a few benches or something. We were going to eat that. I think that was the no. We were going to a hotel, but there was no hotel there. Yeah, wait. Why were we packing out our bags? There were no hotel. Well, it doesn't make sense, I guess. Um, but we oh jeez, we well, yeah, we just walked around, and when I realized, like, oh shit, I'm in a dream, I was trying to stay calm because I knew that if I get excited about this, I'm gonna wake up very soon. And so I stayed calm and looked around, just like taking in all of the details, just like when I'm like in a store or like waiting in a queue, I'm looking at like the details and whatevers and the other whatevers. So it's like I think at least my brain has mapped like the rocks, the leaves, the trees and stuff like that very well, and when I look at them, I can't see problems in like the way they look, right? It's the things that are like nonsensical are like the storyline and the reasons for behaviors, right? Like the reason why someone is behaving in a certain way, or why I am behaving in a certain way. Those are the things that don't make sense. But the visuals, impeccable. Like I thought I was in fucking real life, because I was like, am I sure I'm dreaming? Because goddamn, like these visuals, like there's no indication of this being a dream based on the visuals. And now that I'm looking back at it, right, now the visuals have faded, so it's more like darker and like more washed out and more like less detailed, but I can still remember my experience of like seeing the detail and going like, oh my god, this is so detailed, what the fuck. Wherever I look, like the gravel, it's like so much detail. The mountainside, so much detail. The moss and the foliage and the grass, so much fucking detail. And I've had dreams where I've kind of like stopped and just started to look at something. Like I was in my dad's house one time when I was dreaming. Like, no, in the dream I was there. And I looked outside, and there were just humongous windmills. Like retro sci fi windmills. And they were huge. But the propeller was like as big as me, right? It was like if I extended all my limbs outwards, that would be the propeller. And the housing for the motor, it was huge. It was like not proportionally accurate, but the details on the housing of the thing on the top of the stem, right? The thing on the yeah, the thing where the propeller connects to. I could see so much. I could see the bolts where the panels were connected, and I could see like the rust. I could see the reflection in some of the material, like in some of the metal, because some of it was like chrome, some of it was like military greenish type bit, and there were two of those, and they were also a little rusted and like rusted and stuff. And there were three other ones who that was like white, like completely white, and like it was so cool. And so I'm not like I usually, like, when I'm waiting somewhere and I'm not just putting it, like taking up my phone, I'm looking around and like looking at the environment, right? I don't know if this is like, because I've heard a lot of autistic people saying that they do this, so it might be something to do with that. But like being entertained by just looking around, seeing like how the lights are set up and how the walls look, like what the materials are, like stuff that doesn't matter at all, right? It doesn't matter. I don't have, like, my day doesn't change because I look at whatever detail. It's just fun because it's something to do. And yeah, it's nice, I guess. I don't know. I didn't practice saxophone yesterday because I had the hugest headache, and so I thought, like, if I'm gonna play now, I'm gonna fucking die from a headache or whatever. But I didn't try, and so that's kind of whack. But yeah, I don't know. I bought a new mouthpiece. I don't remember how much I've talked about or what I've talked about from the last episode of Yaptime, but I think, um, yeah, in case I haven't told, I've got myself a new mouthpiece, or I've uh, ordered a new mouthpiece and an ocarina. Whoa, yeah, it's a little bird, like a deep tone, like a bass ocarina or whatever, a bass ocarina or whatever. No idea how big it is, but it would be cool if it's like really big. I think I could have checked. But yeah, I don't know how it's like. Well, it might not be very much deeper, like a lot deeper, but it is definitely deeper than the other ones that I heard. Because it had like audio samples, and so I could like compare the different ones. And I really liked the one um that was deeper. Um, yeah, I was supposed to go to my grandparents today and eat taco. No, what? Taco. Um, but I'm stick. I'm stick. Hey guys, I'm stick the from uh from Top Gear. Yeah, I see it blinking. I don't know. I felt like I saw blinking in my side, in my peripherals as well. Uh, yeah, it looks kind of like I'm blinking. I don't know if that's the light being light or if that's my phone being phone. But yeah, anyway, I am Fortnite. No, I don't know. I bought myself a USB to aux adapter, or a cable. I mean, because an adapter is kind of like shorter. I would say. Oh yeah, I bought myself a MIDI to USB adapter thingy, with like a thing in it, and so now I can maybe make my keyboard, like my digital piano. I can make that do like MIDI functions, and I can fuck disk. I can actually make music easier, maybe. I'll say maybe because I don't know. And oh, I hope it can do like pedal, using the pedal as well. Oh yeah. I don't know like how the MIDI setup is. I hope it had a MIDI output. I hope my piano had a MIDI output. But if not, I guess I'm gonna have to wait a few months and buy myself a little MIDI keyboard. Yeah, cause I don't know, yeah, the thing with the USB-C to aux thingy was very nice, because now I can connect my headset to my phone, and whenever I record like vocals and stuff, it's instant. Like I can hear myself instantly. So I'm not guessing. Like I couldn't record with Bluetooth headset, because the delay was too long. The latency was too bad. Um, it was like 200 milliseconds, and that is completely not acceptable. And then I realized, like, I had a button that I don't. I think it was like a safety audio safety thingy, and it just added, like, I don't know how, like, it added 200 milliseconds, and when I turned it off, it worked perfectly, and I was like, what? But I'm pretty sure if I did that with like Bluetooth, it wouldn't make a difference. So I'm happy I bought the oh, I don't know. Wait, does it look like I'm looking into the camera? Oh my god! Does it look like I'm looking into the camera or above the camera now? Because I can't. Because huh, everything is kind of like morphing. What? Wee. Everything looks like it's moving. The cloth is like warping. What? And my face is like, whoa, whoa, wow. Like very subtly. What? Okay, I don't know. But yeah, oh yeah, I also had like one time when I was going into a dream where I was like laying on my back and everything went black. Oh my god, spitting rhymes. And then I also heard like the right, and I was just like, oh fuck, this is so fucking annoying. But normally, if I would like, normally anytime I go into those kinds of dreams where everything just goes black and I can see only eyes, like I can see the reflection of my eyes in whatever darkness, and or somebody else's eyes. I don't know. It's like, it's not even eyes. It's kind of like if you take a video and emboss it, and then you, instead of having it like gray, you have it like black, and then the embossment is kind of like what you see. That is kind of, yeah, that's what I see when I close my eyes, kind of. And or in those circumstances, and it's so weird because it goes from like I'm having like some visuals to like completely black, and I'm just like, oh, I can't move, I can't do anything, and the sound is so fucking loud and obnoxious. And so normally I spend a lot of energy like trying to like get control over my fingers, because I can't move my body, but my fingers I still have some control. And if I just wiggle my fingers and toes, I wake up after like a little while. Um, like maybe if I wiggle them for like a minute, I start to wake up, and yeah, that's how I wake up in like sleep paralysis situations. And that is like that happens quite often. But the funny thing is that I've never seen like those shadow people in like while I've been in sleep paralysis. I've only ever seen my room, and like I can like sort of uh like I'm sleep paralyzed, and I'm also dreaming, right? So I'm stuck in my bed, and that's kind of like the basis of the dream, and then I'm like trying to move around, and then I move around. Kind of, I spend so much energy trying to move my body, but I can't see where I'm moving, but I can feel where I'm moving, and I'm like I can lay here right in this position, and I can feel like okay, I'm on the ground now because I turned and I hit the ground, like felt the ground or whatever. But then I wake up back here, and then I'm still stuck in the dream, and I'm also like rolling off the bed, trying to like die or whatever, or like trying to wake up with the falling thingy, and it just happens over and over again until I wake up, and it's kind of like, oh, bro, I gotta try different meds. Holy shit, because the meds that I'm taking, they're meant to be like antipsychotics, um, and also like they double up as a sleeping thingy. But I don't know if I want to use those for a long time because I've heard that they can shrink your brain if you take them long term, and I don't want to do that because I don't know what consequences that has in the long run, and maybe it has like uh, higher chance of Alzheimer's or dementia or whatever. Well, no, that dementia or Alzheimer's, I don't remember if there was a different. I don't know if there was a difference or if or what the difference is. But I think it was like plaque building up in your brain, and that's kind of like how you get those things. But it might also be something with like shrinking the brain. I don't know. I want to have my brain. I want to take care of it. And yeah, I say that, but I also don't like work out. And I know working out is not just for my physical body, but also for my mind, like my the health of my mind. But I also just don't want to go and exercise because I I need to like. It's not something I can just or I don't have it in my routine the same way as I have all of my other things, and it's kind of like I have to go out of my way and like set aside time for that, and it's kind of like a lot of the things that I do are kind of easy to start doing like any time because I've made them easy to start. Right, like for example with Blender, I keep it on in the background on my PC, so it's easier to just start it. And therefore I spend more time in Blender, but not always. But it's easier. It's at least easier to start making something if I have an idea than if I had to like launch it and start making stuff. Yeah, start to like yeah, I don't know. But um with working out, I need to change my clothes and I need to like go somewhere, and if I stay at home and do workouts, I need to have like the floor vacuumed because I don't like the dust that I have on the floor. And then it's kind of like dependent on, like, my working routine is dependent on another external thing, like how tidy I am keeping my apartment. And that's not always easy to do because I have sometimes a lot of things, like a lot of other things that I focus on. And so the cleanliness of my apartment goes kind of like off the radar for my brain, because I have other things that I deem more important that takes up like a lot more space in my brain. And so if I were to like I've tried this before, like trying to like work out at home, and I always end up having problems with like the dust and stuff. And it's not like it's kind of like uh if I were to need to like assemble my PC and also like uh install Blender every time that I wanted to do something in Blender, I wouldn't do it as often. And that's kind of how I feel with working out. It's kind of like I have to go change my clothes, and then I have to like prepare the the working out place, and then I have to like uh what's it called? I have to, like, the working out isn't the problem. It's everything around the working out that's keeping me from like doing it. Um, and then afterwards, I'm gonna have to like take a shower because I don't want to sit around sweaty. And that's also another step of like, if I had to like every time I was done blendering, having to disassemble my PC and like put it away, and like only to put it back the next day or whatever. Like it would take it takes a lot of like discipline, and I don't really have that. And so I'm kind of just like telling myself that like, I'm not in the I don't see the value in it yet. So the ritual of getting ready and like packing back up doesn't seem beneficial enough. Like the working out doesn't seem beneficial enough to justify all of that, like getting all of that stuff. Because I don't care about the workout. That I know that will be like pretty nice, but the like it takes focus, and like I need to, at least the first times, I need to think a lot about like, okay, I need to do this thing, and like every small part in the whole thing needs to be like thought through. And I know that after like a few times, like 10 or 20 times of doing that, I will do it automatically. Like I will go and pick stuff up. Like, no, I will go and like clean up. I might even have it cleaned, like regularly cleaned and stuff, so I don't have to clean before that. And then whenever whenever I'm done, instead of thinking like, oh, I have to shower, I just go and take a shower because it's so routine, right? And I don't need to think about it as much. But it's the problem is keeping it that way, right? Like if I have a week just like this, for example, like this is kind of, I'm happy I bought a new mouthpiece, because me getting sick is a very high chance compared to like everything else. It has a very high chance of me forgetting to practice the saxophone and then giving up on it because I'm like stopping, and then my routine of like playing every day goes away. But then me having like me waiting for the mouthpiece, whenever I get that, I will have another, like if I fall out of the rhythm of like practicing every day, I will have a reminder that I need to keep practicing every day when that thing comes back. And I'm not planning on giving up now and then getting back into it when I get the mouthpiece. I'm more like I'm seeing that there's a potential for me to lose my my habits, or like lose my daily practicing routine and stuff. And I think maybe me trying to learn an instrument like the saxophone, for example, like getting like getting more and more comfortable with the setup, even though I like how little setup it needs when you have a synthetic reed. Like you don't need to put water on it, you don't need to like take it off and put it on again before you play. uh it doesn't need water to be wet, or it doesn't need to be wet. You It's mostly when you assemble it, the one time when you assemble it, then you need it to be have a wet uh, seal or whatever, a wet coating on the flat side to make a seal with the mouthpiece, and it dries, but it keeps the seal even though it has dried, and that is kind of nice. Um, and so I can just pick it up any time and just start jamming. But I need to play for a few minutes before I get into a flow of like being able to see more variables than just playing around. Like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just playing around. And then if I put on uh like something to block my eyes, right, just taking away sight, I can suddenly like see so much more or recognize so many more problems that I'm making. And I can actually think. But if I don't have like something covering up my eyes, I um I keep them open, and I can't keep them closed because they just like they wanna get stimulation, right? My eyes or my brain is like, hey, show me the world. And I'm like, no, I don't want to show you the world. I want to show you the variables that I want to see. Or I want you to show me those variables or whatever. And then having, like, what's it called? Having blindfolds on for like around 15 minutes. After the 15 minutes, my brain kind of adapts to like no sight. And then it starts to like be able to do things, I feel. But it's also kind of hard because I don't always know if I'm doing it correctly, right? Like if I have my mouth muscles correctly. But I can listen to the sound, and I can like guess, like, okay, this sounds a little muted. This sounds a little shitty, and this sounds bad in this way. Um, and then I can like realize, like, oh yeah, okay, I'm tightening my lower lip too much, or I'm biting, or I'm not having the corner of my mouth correctly, like tucked in, yeah, it's it's a lot of steps, but um oh yeah, I also went like go-karting the other day, and yeah, I can talk about that when I talk. No, I'm gonna forget it. uh so yeah, I was go-karting with two friends, and we were, oh yeah, and before that I did ice skating as well with my with my brother and my friend, the friend who watches these actually. That was pretty fun. And I think taught my brother how to like stand on ice skates, because he was very um he found it hard to stand on ice skates, and so he used the like the guides, or not the guides, but like the rails or whatever that you can like scoot along with, so you don't fall over so easily. And he was like moving around with those, and after a while, me and my friend, we were like uh to to be more stable, we started holding hands, and that was actually a very good technique, I feel, at least, because it felt like it was, instead of like scooting around the corner, it kind of like gave people more confidence to like fly around, like not just at the corner. And so we picked up my brother as well after a little bit, and we, yeah, it seemed like my brother had a lot more fun um, skating. And then we switched places, so my brother was in the middle and me and my friend was on the outsides. And that was actually the best move, because then he could fall, because he fell two or three, maybe four times, I don't remember. No, I fell zero times, even though my brother fell while we were having like um while we were in a row. And so it was very fun, because when he fell, we didn't like let go, and he just fell on his ass in like a lot of pain. He kind of like we kind of held him up, so it was like a slow drop, like a really slow drop, so it only hurted like a little bit, I think, at least. And so that was, I think that also was a part of um like the building up confidence with ice skates. And at the end, we were supposed to like, or the people who arranged the thing was like, we're gonna have a race and whatever. And we tried going there, me and my brother, like taking the race around the thing, but we didn't find it as much fun as the, oh yeah, no, I yeah, we went around while holding hands, and then after the first round, uh, we were like, "Huh? Do you wanna just like try like back and forth across like uh, the shorter way?" And it was like, and then like very kind of unsure, and then he did it. He started like going on his own, and it was very fun, because he started to feel like he was getting it, and it was so fun seeing that he went from not being comfortable on the ice at all to like going on his own. And I also said like this is like taking off the side wheels on the bicycle, the helping wheels, the training wheels. He had removing the training wheels, and then I think he left. But yeah, we were getting, we got over to the side, and he was like, "Whoa!" And then we went back again, and then uh, at the end, we like after going back and forth like a few times, we I just remembered I filmed a few things and I haven't sent it to my brother, and he asked me if I could send it. And yeah, I need to do that someday. Someday. I need to do that today because he's going away in the weekend and I think he would like to have those videos soon. But I no, yeah, we went one way, one like round around the whole thing, and he actually managed to not fall, and that was so funny. That was so cool. I mean, and I think like um we decided like okay, we're gonna go back the day after, and uh, uh so we can like do another. Wait, no, today is Friday. Bro, I don't know time, or at least I think it's Friday today. Huh. Um, but yeah, me and my brother decided that we wanted to do it more times, and so we were like, okay, we're gonna do tomorrow as well, um, because he was going away in the weekend, and I didn't know if like I thought like okay, the sooner we get back on the ice, the better, because then we don't need to learn like relearn the confidence level or whatever. Uh, and it would be so epic trying to teach my little sister, like my 2-year-old sister, to stand on ice skates, because oh, she would be so fucking cute. Oh, she would be so adorable on the ice. Oh, I would love to see her like schmoofing around. Schmoofing? Yeah, I don't know. That would be so cute to see. So teaching, like get it, like learning how to teach my brother might teach me how to learn my little sister as well. And yeah, it would be very fun to do that. And I realized like teaching people is very fun. Like trying to teach people things, and I've also learned from learning stuff that having an ego while learning is a really bad idea, because if you if someone you're teaching doesn't understand what you're saying, if you get upset like oh my god, you're stupid, you can't figure this thing out, and yeah, if that's your reaction, instead of like okay, I see that you don't understand what I'm saying, let me phrase it in a better way, a more understandable way, right? If you if you don't like see that you didn't say it in the way that you needed to say it, um, and you're not comfortable accepting that you were actually wrong when you tried to teach this person, because if you were right they would have understood. And I've seen that like teaching you, it becomes so hard if you have an ego, if you connect your ego to your information. But if you try to like dissolve your ego, which I don't know how you do. I'm just getting better and better at it, but I don't know how to do it. I'm still trying to like figure out methods of maybe doing how you can do it. But I think it's a thing. It's one of those things you have to like either realize yourself, or I need to learn more about it to be able to like talk about it and not just say like, oh yeah, this is bad and then this is not bad or whatever. It like ego has its place. Ego is like the sense of self. I think it was like that's how I remember the thing or whatever. And like the ego is like you are you, and if if you're if whatever you're talking about is not perceived as correct, it can like, if you're not comfortable with being wrong, it can be like, oh shit, no, I feel so bad now. But if you're comfortable being wrong, like the more comfortable you are with being wrong, um the easier it is to teach someone. Because if you say something with complete like confidence, like this is the way you need to make this thing, or you need to do this thing in this specific way, and then when they can't do it in that way, if you're able to recognize like, oh yeah, okay, this method doesn't work in this situation because of these reasons, and if you're only able to go like, no, you're the problem, you're bad, you can't do this there, that means that you are bad. But if you see it like, oh okay, that's not your fault, that is just how that is how your brain that's how your brain doesn't absorb it, and therefore I will change my information to something that might help you more. And I think that's the difference between neurotypical people trying to teach you and like people on the autism spectrum, being like me. I have like Blender is my like my special interest thingy. Like I learn a lot of the different systems in Blender because I love Blender and I can't get enough of it. And it's actually, I've realized like it's actually hindering me from improving in some spaces because I just want to do everything in Blender. But there are a lot of things that don't really or they're not as easy, or they're not as like the results you get aren't as good as when you get or as if you're using a different program. But I guess I gotta get better at, or it would be beneficial. I don't have to get better at other things. It will be no, but it will be very beneficial if I manage to uh like not purely be interested in Blender. But I guess that's kind of what makes it a diagnosis, the inability to control it or whatever. Like, if I were to be able to just say that, okay, now I'm gonna start using the Unreal Engine instead of Blender, and then being able to not open Blender and being like fully content with like, okay, I'm gonna learn Unreal now. Like that might have that would mean that the Blender wasn't my special interest, right? because I've had a lot of problems with learning Unreal Engine because I just can't find reasons to use it, basically. Uh, or I can't see I can't see the reasons. But I know that there are so many things that I can use DaVinci, no, Unreal for. Uh, and yeah, I'm trying to get better at that, but it's kind of hard when your brain is like, oh, I love Blender, oh my god, whoa. And yeah, another thing with like teaching people is that like if a lot of people I see on like Blender place, like where they have Blender, like teaching people Blender and stuff, or like helping beginners and stuff, people generally don't help because they like helping. It's more it at least this is how I feel a lot of people do it. Why people do it, it's to feel like they know stuff, right? To feel like they're like, oh yeah, I know stuff, so I can tell this person, and it feels good because uh they're they've put effort into learning something, and now they can like teach someone. But often I see people trying to teach someone, or well, mostly it's trying to help someone. It's the teaching and helping is completely different, because teaching someone, you don't need to help them afterwards, right? Or you don't need to help them as much. But if you just help them, they would need to ask you for help every time they need to do the thing until they learn it. And that takes a lot longer than teaching them first and then helping them every now and then. Because if they learn the method, they don't need to like ask you how does this work, or what was the button press again, right? If they understand what they need to do, they don't need to ask for like, okay, what was the button press, what was the thing that I had to do, right? And that's the difference between teaching and helping, I feel. I don't know if I finished that sentence or that thought before I said that that was the difference, but if I didn't, uh, sorry, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, I like teaching people stuff because it's not like I don't get the feeling of like, oh yeah, I know stuff. It's more like, oh shit, okay, I have a gap in my knowledge because it was hard to tell someone how this works. And sometimes I go like full autism mode and misinterpret their intentions or what they're asking. And so I'm just like, they're asking for something, and I'm completely like, uh I've I've made my own idea of what they're asking instead of what they're actually asking. And so I'm spending like half an hour writing a response on Discord to someone who didn't really want it. And then I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna post this, and then I post this, and the person is like, bro, what the fuck? I didn't even need this help because I don't care. And I'm just sitting there like, I just spent like that much time. But then again, it's fun. I find it fun when that happens, and it's kind of like the same as like doom scrolling. It's kind of like not every post is funny, but every now and then you get like a really good post, and you're like, whoa, this is so funny, and you keep scrolling. Um, that's kind of how it goes for me as well. Like I write a lot of those like long-ish messages, and they're not very long always, but they take a lot of time to write because I like reflect on whatever I'm saying. It's not just like I write like one line and then one line and then one line and then like send them every like at the whenever I'm done. I spend like 30 minutes writing one message type of thing. And I read over it a few times, like a bunch of times actually, and I'm just like, okay, is this what I want to say? And this, okay, this works. Okay, this doesn't really make sense. Maybe it could make sense. Um, and so yeah, it's weird. I like it, but it's kind of like, I don't know. I like I like well, I don't really like helping people. I like teaching people. I guess I do sometimes end up just helping them because they ask for help and then they get help and then they forget, so they ask me again and then they don't remember. Um, but it's kind of, yeah, it's fun. I guess I would rather, like, it would be very fun to have like some person who would like who was interested in learning the stuff that I'm interested in, or the things that I have learned, and that I'm still learning, and someone like they had the interest in learning it and the dedication to actually learn it, because that would mean that they like it would mean that they would appreciate the effort that I put into teaching someone. And that's kind of the hard parts of, and that's also kind of why I don't want to become a teacher, like a teacher as my job, because I don't want to try to have to teach people who don't appreciate the knowledge that I have, right? If they're like, "Oh, I don't want to be here. My parents uh, bought paid for this course or whatever, and I don't want to be here." Like that's the worst part about like being a teacher, I think. Like when people think they want to learn something but then they really don't, and they're just there because they want to learn it but they don't really want to learn it. But yeah, well, they think they want to learn it, and then they're like, okay, if I go and talk with this, or if I go to a course where somebody knows what they're doing, I'm gonna learn it and I'm gonna follow what they're doing, and then after the course I am a professional or whatever. And like, no, you're not. You still have to put in so much more effort. And well, I guess you're a professional when you get paid for whatever you do. So professional doesn't mean necessarily that you're good. It just means you are paid to do whatever you're doing. And I guess I'm not a professional 3D artist right now. I was, I think, because I was a intern, and yeah, so I was technically a professional uh thing. But I've seen people with way less skill earning money on 3D stuff, and I guess that's like, it's mostly it's probably mostly because I don't really have a very strong urge to earn money. I guess I don't know. It's kind of weird because I don't see money the same way as everyone else. I think it's kind of like, was there like a really loud noise? Because in my, I don't know. In my head, I can hear like the remain like after I've heard the sound, you can still I can still hear it kind of, and I feel like there was like a really loud like or whatever like right above me, but that might have been like a car or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what I'm hearing. Maybe it's my own voice or whatever. Um, yeah, it's interesting how teaching can be. Yeah, what have I talked about today? I've talked about dreams, lucid dreaming, um, oh days, sickness, being sick, I guess, um, teaching, and discipline, I guess, because of the like the dreams and discipline. Maybe I don't know what the title is. I made like a little description on the last video of like what I remember about what I remember talking about. But I don't know. I might start doing that so whenever I look back, I can be like, oh, that's what I talked about in this video. That's interesting. I want to listen to this. Instead of being like, okay, what pissing in dream pissing and art block or whatever. Like what did I talk about in that one? I don't know. And then having to spend like an hour listening to whatever yap I was yapping about. But yeah, it's not all of the episodes are. Oh my god, 1, 2, 3, 5. Almost. It was the time. Uh, yeah, I'm sick AF. Not really. I had a headache yesterday, and it's not. I don't know. I ate so much different things because I was like, I need vitamins, I need the minerals, so I'm gonna eat everything. And then I ate everything, and I don't know if I'm healthy now or whatever, but I'm still sick, probably. Yeah. Well, have a good day. I'm gonna play some Balatro, I think. And then I'm gonna go to bed. No, that's not what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go take a shower. Yeah, and then I'm gonna go lay on the couch for a day or whatever, like I did yesterday. Yeah. Ta ta.